about this stimulus money for incarcerated people. Have you looked into that?
I haven't got any word on that at all. You might do to send an email to Agnes. That might help.
Okay,
So
but
she can send it to me.
I just learned about it today, and I think you have like something like a week to fill out the forms. It's like
Oh,
a
oh.
I know. I just found out about it like with a week's notice. It's kind of crazy.
Well, do I have to sign paperwork?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you have to fill out a bunch of forms.
Yeah. Oh, my jaw is just crazy. It wants to act up, even with what little medication I do with it when I'm trying to talk.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Anyway, what I wanted to contact you folks about tonight was Agnes ran across a journalist in the state of Washington that works for the Seattle Times. Her name is Shapiro, and she's looking to help get people in Washington State that are prisoners, especially innocent ones, free. So Agnes is trying to contact her now. She sent her an email tonight and told her that she would send the full information packet on Monday if she was interested, because there was uh, there's no other word for it. It was a conspiracy to put two innocent people in prison for money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we will attach that, and at the same time, I've sent her information for this bill that's in the state of Washington for 6164 that allows a prosecutor to go back and look through the record and see if it's worth changing sentence structure and things like that. And with this total information and showing that the prosecution went knowingly to produce a false criminal action against two innocent people.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there's in the tribal newspaper, Mel Tenasket pounds his chest saying that he spent $60,000 to have us tried in Okanagan County because a shot against the tribal police is a shot against the tribal council, yada yada yada, while he's raking in dough off of the Mount Tolman project and dealing cocaine on the streets in the reservation. So, well, I can't say that he was doing it himself, but he was looking the other way, allowing it to happen. So, I'm sure that he was making money off of it. Anyway.
Figures.
I don't know with your form stuff there. I don't know if there's any way to get it to me with any quicker than a week's time. So, you have my address, don't you?
Yeah, isn't there other guys there doing the same thing?
The only thing that has changed is my room number from DE 122 to DE 109.
Okay.
Or not 109, 103. I mean, I'm sorry. Everything else is all good. Zip code is 99362, and usually if you just put my name and number and Washington State Penitentiary and the zip code, it'll get here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's Rudy.
Yes.
Hey, Patrick.
Yes. Good evening to you. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Good.
All this talk about the cops and how they were involved in illegal, unethical, and immoral actions. I mean, it seems like maybe 30 years ago or 34 years ago, that would have been harder for the public to believe. But nowadays, it's very easy for most people to believe because they've been caught red-handed so many times,
Well, that's about the time that all of this started, and it wasn't just on the reservation. It was nationwide, and this blue code that goes along with it was about when they get close to getting caught, they nail somebody and they go to prison. And there's this newscast and stuff that we have about the America's Secret Book of Secrets with the incarcerated people in the United States. Agnes and I are thinking that it would be a good idea and a good time to go to the World Court in Den Haag, in Holland, and ask for an investigation at least, because of all of this innocent people being sent to prison for such long terms and stuff. Especially in my case, because it was about taking hereditary leaders offline so that the elected officials could do as they wanted to then.
Right.
Not even giving us the thumbs up or thumbs down whether or not we might choose to go along with them. So I don't know. It's just so many things going around and around, and I try to get it calmed so that I can move forward, and it just don't move forward. It just keeps going around in this circle.
Yeah.
So we have a new person in Seattle with the Seattle Times by the name of Shapiro, and it struck a chord with me that is the name of the attorney that fought for O.J. Simpson.
Right.
I'm wondering if there is a connection there, and if there is, then she's well endowed to be able to help us with that right there. If Agnes gives her the information that she has given you and stuff, that would be a plus, because I'm sure that it would fall at the times that this 6164 bill that I've filled in for is going to hit up there in Okanagan, and it'll be about the time in March that Agnes will go to have a hearing on this, and if we work it that way, we've got 3 world newspapers that will be looking at this then. It'll be the one in Brussels, Belgium, the one in Holland, and the one in the United States. It's the Seattle Times. So with that, we should get some movement, or at least agitate somebody enough that they blow a top or something.
Right. In all of the time you've been in prison, you've never had a parole at all, and they've never even talked about a parole. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
Wow.
They made it so that I could never ask for that, and they were trying to act like it was a less stringent penalty. And the fact is that when you're doing life without, even as a cop killer, you have to every day do your exercises and be ready to fight to the death at any time, because that's the way life is within this system.
Mm.
And
Mm.
they don't take any of that into consideration. They don't take the bad food. They don't take the noise after hours. They don't take the BS that the cops hand down and act like they're superior in some way. And the fact of the matter is, they are just a uniformed gang that does what they want to in the prison
Amen.
environment.
Amen to that. Yeah. Amen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know of 5 murders that was handed down by Captain Richard Morgan here at Walla Walla. He got a mandate from Gary Locke to be able to shoot on sight anyone fighting, whether they were defending themselves or what. And 3 of 5 of those people were defending themselves. So they don't shoot anybody anymore now because of the lawsuits. And Mr. Morgan slipped by that and didn't have to do anything. He got sent up the ladder instead of sent out of the working body, because the DOC, as we have it here in the state of Washington, is no longer part of the state, other than it's a contract company now. They send, the legislature hands them a blank check and the DOC fills it in. And last I seen on the little computer here at the kiosk here, it said that they were having to cut back because the DOC budget had somehow went $8.9 billion in the red, and they wouldn't be able to get it straightened out until 2016, if then, or 2026, I mean, if then.
Did this Mr. Morgan, he's still employed in the Washington Department of Corrections?
I don't know. The last I heard, he had either retired or something. I don't
Okay.
I don't know. I don't see his name on the paperwork anymore. I see Mr. Herzog, who was just below him or within that same group that got moved up right after Bendel got killed.
Mm. I remember Bendel. I read about that. There's lots of stories about
Yes.
that on the internet. That was a tragic,
Yes.
tragic case.
Well, Bendel was a very good friend of mine, and if I would have been let out of my cell that night to go to chapel, there was a native function there. Bendel would not have died because I would have made sure that she was okay.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, that's a rough situation there.
Yeah. Well, they're not all bad, but the bad ones have gotten together and pushed on the good ones enough that there are so few of them that they don't even know each other. The good ones.
Yeah.
It's terrible that things should be going on the way it is. I've got one here by the name of Gonzalez, that while I was in Airway Heights, he got 50 of the inmates doing things. He was dealing drugs, and he was dealing cell phones and this and that. And when he got caught, he laid it on them, saying that they had coerced him into doing it because they had threatened his family. And he doesn't have a family here.
Yeah. Hmm.
So 50 people went to the hole, and some of them are still doing time over that in the hole.
Wow. You know, I just looked up that Bindle, the guy who killed her, I guess, is Byron Scherf, and
Yes.
he did not get the death penalty. He just he'll spend life in prison. They didn't even give him the death penalty. I don't know. I don't know. It's just kind of odd, right? Because she was only 34 years old. I don't know if he raped her before he killed her, but he didn't. He just killed her.
They said that he was trying to do that and couldn't. She fought him off to the point to where the only thing he had left to do was they were in the chapel area and there was a microphone cord, and he strangled her with that, and then he lost all interest in that and got scared and tried to run.
Yeah.
He was up against the wall outside when they found him.
You know,
2 hours later.
According to this article, he was already serving life without parole. He was for another crime,
Yes.
so his sentence never changed.
And had raped and murdered, and he should have been on the island before and not here.
Yeah.
At Monroe. No, that was they were trying to rehabilitate this one, and this is what that type of rehabilitation gets with some of them. There is no rehabilitation.
Yeah, according to this article, I never know what to believe because I don't trust the mainstream media. But according to this article, in 1981, he poured gasoline on a lady in a blanket and set her on fire. Yeah, it's just this guy. This guy's a real piece of work, man.
Yeah. Well, this is part of the thing that goes on every day here with this. We're having to deal with things like this. There's ones that have to stand up and say to different ones that they push in here, yeah, you've got to go. It's a great act you've got the stuff, but you got to do it someplace else. You can't do it here.
Yeah.
We've got inmates that don't like that type of thing, and it's better for you and better for them if you tell them that you've got to go right now.
Yeah.
So. I don't deal in that one way or the other. I don't try to know what another inmate's story is or anything like that, because you can't.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling and it's self-defeating.
Right.
And no matter how you try to do it, it ends up being a negative action instead of a positive action. Prison is it's a negative action, period. It doesn't do anything but create more negativity. And that's why they're doing it. And that's why they're doing this thing with the coronavirus and stuff right now. This is the times where they're trying to steal everybody's freedom.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
And say, it's okay, we're doing this for your own good, so let it be.
Right, I agree with you. They're trying to. It's a psychological operation on the population. Has nothing to do with keeping us healthy. Yeah.
No. There are 8 other infectious things that are causing more deaths than the coronavirus, and none of them have been talked about.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
In the last 6 months. So, anyway, love and respects.
We love and respect you.
Say a prayer for an old Indian.
We will. God bless you, Patrick. It's good to hear your voice.
Yeah. Thank you. You too.
Okay.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye for now.